Because my hair grows successfully out of my scalp, it's going to break off. Does that make sense to you? Because my hair is growing, it's going to break off. Does that make sense to you? That is the belief that you guys have. You guys wearing Sisterlocks and Microlocs, retightening your hair too often, and your hair is thinning out. And you are actually saying this out loud. Because I have regrowth, too much regrowth, it's going to break off. Does that make sense to you? Because your hair is growing successfully out of your head in these beautiful fine tubes, it's going to break off. Think of the logic of that. Why would your hair break off? Because it's growing successfully and healthily out of your head. Start thinking about what you're being told and what you're inviting into your mindset, and how is that helping your hair thrive? Your hair will not break off as a result of having it growing successfully out of your head. Regrowth does not break your hair. Your attitude towards your African texture hair growing successfully is what affects your hair, and therefore you take it to a space of abuse and trauma, whether you're doing it, whether somebody else is doing it, right? You are thinning out your hair because you are afraid of your African texture hair growing out of your scalp. If you want your hair to grow healthily out of your scalp, then what you need to do is allow it to grow healthily out of the scalp and stop disturbing it. The source of breakage and the weakening of the strands is the healthiness of the pockets of follicles. If you tug and you pull continually at your follicles, you're weakening them and you're not allowing them to exist, to live, to thrive at their optimum level. Their optimum level gives you the optimum thickness your strands can actually grow. It doesn't become smaller and smaller and smaller as the trauma happens to it, as you're pulling and tugging, as you're allowing it to be pulled and tugged. And then those strands then become thinner, 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 thinner. So thin, they can't withstand any weight, and then they break off as a result of your thought, of your mindset, being afraid of your own African texture hair. So think about whether something makes sense to you before you start spouting it out, preaching it out, living it out. Regrowth cannot break your African texture hair. The nature of your hair is the nature of your hair. That's been gifted to you. The fact that you're destroying the source continually and weakening it is what's causing the breakage. You take care of your follicles, you be kinder, more patient, more thoughtful, more respectful. You touch your head like it's the most precious and the head is the living being that you're existing, and your small size locks will thrive. This is close-up of Rin's locks.